You thought 2016, the world's going to shit. Fuck it.
Absolutely. Well,
I'm going out with a Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes I live in South London. Sometimes you walk past like a corner shop and it says like, buy Bitcoin here.
Yeah.
And you can buy like wigs and stuff from the same shop. Well, how does that happen?
Hello! Welcome to Believe the Conspiracy Theory podcast. I'm Phil Green.
And I'm David Ferguson.
And this is a podcast all about the world's craziest conspiracy theories, isn't it?
Well, no, I don't think it is about the craziest conspiracy theories. I think it's about the actual truth being revealed.
Okay, I think wait until you see the actual conspiracy we're talking about on this one. You might think differently. Anyway, this is a podcast all about the world's craziest conspiracy theories. In each episode, we bring on a fellow comedian, and that comedian has chosen a conspiracy theory and they want to talk about. It might be a conspiracy theory they believe, it might be a conspiracy theory they don't believe, or it might just be a conspiracy theory they think is the weirdest fucking shit they've ever heard, and they need two people to make sense of it, don't they?
And we are those two people.
That's right, we are those two people. We are their savior.
We are indeed.
Now, you can get in contact with us via social media, can't they?
Oh, yes. We're all over social media. We are Believe Conspiracy Pod on the TikTok, on the Instagram, and on the YouTube.
The TikTok, the Instagram, and the YouTube. And what's our handle?
Oh, our handle, Believe Conspiracy Pod.
That is right. It's where you can get in contact with us. Let us know what you think about the conspiracies we've been talking about. We put up exclusive content related to these conspiracies. It could be videos, it could be photos, and comment on it. Tell us what you think.
Absolutely. We want to hear what you have to say. Like, and are there conspiracy theories you want us to cover? Are there things we're not covering? Are there things that we're keeping behind the closed doors that you need revealed?
If somebody wanted to communicate with us in the old classic style, how would they do that?
Oh, they would do it by email.
Email.
And our email address is believeconspiracypod@gmail.com.
Yes, email us with the conspiracy theories that you want us to cover. We have a whole list of them, but we also want to know what you think. This season, we are covering a load of conspiracies that people have been sending to us, and because we want to do this for you, don't we?
Absolutely. If you're not happy, we're not happy. And I'm not that happy.
No, that's right. Until you're happy, he will be a sad bear. So that's on your conscience if you don't email us. All right? Now, we're doing some live shows a bit later on in the year.
We are indeed.
Where can people find the link for those?
Oh, the link for that is below in the show notes.
Yeah.
We'd love you to check that out.
We would do. We're doing some podcast live shows. We're also doing some solo live shows ourselves. So go into the show notes to any of our episodes and you will find the links there for those. Now, we should give a big shout out to our tech.
Yes. We should give a big shout out to our tech, George.
George, who today, David said when he walked in, is looking fit as fuck.
I did say that. It's just his raw animal charisma.
Absolutely. We can barely contain ourselves. Now, who is today's wonderful guest?
Today's wonderful guest saved my bacon today. It is the wonderful, the fantastic, the sex-positive Ginnia Cheng.
The wonderful Ginnia Cheng. Ginnia has been shortlisted for the BBC New Comedy Award. She's also the winner of Louis Theroux's Looking for Louis Award. You can see her at comedy clubs all over the country. And she's also the founder and co-host of Sex Standing Up Comedy, which is a sex-positive live comedy experience. And if you've never been, go down because it is a lot of fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely go down.
Filth, absolute filth. Right, what is the conspiracy that Ginnia has chosen?
Oh, well, I barely feel like I need to say it because it's such a common conspiracy theory that everyone's talking about. Aliens created Bitcoin.
That old classic. Aliens created Bitcoin. Let's bring on Ginnia.
Get out of the rabbit hole.
It's a fake. Every single bird in the sky is a robot.
It's fiction.
Doubt your government.
It's an urban legend.
Like, they're actually spraying something in the sky?
No way.
A stream of absurdity.
It's a total fabrication.
Welcome to the podcast, Ginnia Cheng! Hello! How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
How are you guys?
We're all right, yeah. We're delighted to see you, Gin.
Thanks. I thought I had picked a really unique, special conspiracy theory, but you were like, everybody's talking about it.
Oh, no,
So
we were being sarcastic. No one knows about this,
No
literally.
one knows.
I thought, okay, fine.
This is how much we don't know about it. You told me about it. Like, I was like,
I told you about it because Gin told me, right? And then I said, and you didn't know. And you were like, he's in like conspiracy theory WhatsApp groups and boards and stuff. And they don't even talk about it. I had to dig into Reddit a lot for this.
Yeah.
There is actually loads on it, but I
Okay.
had to dig in.
Okay, because
Who told you about this one?
No, I work in tech.
Tech bros.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know anything about it, and I was resisting Googling it today because I wanted to get here on time, one, which I failed. But two, I just thought I'd let you guys educate me.
Oh, we will do that.
Mansplain
You
away.
want it to be mansplained?
Yes,
Absolutely, yeah. We
that's
thought,
what I'm here
and to be
for.
fair, if it's crypto, I think that is what men are here to do, isn't it? Explain crypto to women.
There are people
So-
watching this show going, "Oh, I've tried to do that, but only at parties." You know?
I wanted to ask you about this Louis Theroux award. It's amazing. That's really cool. So did you met Louis Theroux?
I did. I have. Yeah.
And how was that? Was it intimidating?
He is exactly what you envisage. Just such a lovely, lovely man. That sounds like I'm making excuses. No, he is actually a really lovely man. No, but the first time we met, it was just in a pret. And I obviously love like not just conspiracy theories, but sort of alternative cultures.
Yes.
And
And he's the epitome of that, isn't
exactly.
he? Yeah.
But I'll never forget, just sat in Pret the first time we met. Louis was just like, "So what do you know about furries?" And I was like, do I answer the truth? Or, because, you know, like in job interviews, I would probably say nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never heard of that. But when Louis Theroux is asking you what you know about furries, it's like, do I impress him with how much I actually know? Or just act normal? So. I was like,
Did you know anything about it?
I've heard of them. Yeah. Okay. I know probably way too much about furries. But I don't know if there's any conspiracies around them because they just are what they are.
I mean, you threw us a curveball with this one, Jim. I'm really glad that you didn't go down that road.
Ginnia, are you a furry?
No, but I wouldn't mind just like being a kitten sometimes on weekends.
You're totally getting it. You're totally getting it.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. That's a great. We should
Getting
start
hot
that
in
as
here,
a conspiracy on the comedy scene.
Oh, Ginnia Cheng.
Yeah, you never see it at weekends because.
Oh no, I'm gonna get so many DMs. Please, please don't do that.
I dated a guy who was a furry. I'm not a furry, although I am very hairy. But I dated a guy who was a furry, and his alter ego was a cat.
Was a what?
It was a cat. So it was like and I saw him in the full thing, and it was impressive. You know.
Well, that's not what you want. You want sexy, right? Not like, oh, that's impressive. Logistically, tell me how this works.
Nudity is what I find sexy, and furry is like the reverse of that. Like you're putting layers on. Going, no, although it's complicated because he could get naked as a furry, but he was still in the outfit. Like it was anatomically accurate.
Oh wow! Did he want you to?
He did, and I didn't.
Oh.
That I wasn't on board for that.
So do furries not want other furries, or do furries want to be someone's furry?
Well, I mean, he played with other furries. There's other names for it. Like now I'm talking about something. I'm not a furry, so I don't know. But like they would like they get into cuddle puddles and stuff.
Cuddle puddles. I can get into that.
Yeah, like it's very sensual. If you're into it, I just don't like synthetic fiber.
Have you talked about this on Sex Standing Up?
We've never explored furries, but maybe we'll do a special invite you to headline.
Definitely do that. Definitely do that.
I don't need to get a costume. I just need to take my top off and go, oh yeah, he's clearly a bear. You know, like it's disgraceful.
Jin, normally I ask the guest if they're into conspiracy theories, but I already know you are because you picked one of the most niche conspiracy theories we've ever heard. So I was like, she knows what she's talking about.
I know I am into more broadly just all the weird and wacky stuff people believe. I work in PR as a day job and I have for years. So I'm always like, I never believe anything I read. I think that anything you see, well, I don't think, I know, anything you see or read has been put there by a human.
Yes.
Like you don't read a quote by accident. You don't read a statistic by accident. Somebody has created this and placed it there.
Yeah.
Which makes it really hard to believe anything anyone says.
Well, this won't be a problem when the robots take over anyway. What do you think makes people, but do you think that feeds into it though, when the distrust in like what you see in the media?
I think so, because that's where it comes from, right? And there's just more and more stuff out there that people are consuming. So obviously there's going to be more and more people who believe in conspiracy theories, right?
Yeah.
And also now the reality is so much crazier than you could write a sketch. Like whenever we try and write sketches about, let's say, politics like you do, the reality is so much crazier than what you could even think of that sometimes you have to dumb it down because
because actually what passed for satire 20 years ago is what we're living in now, right?
Politics now, like literally politics.
Exactly.
Like Liz Truss, that's a comedy sketch.
Yeah.
That's clearly a comedy, but that happened in real time in our world.
Exactly. How can you not? So I just sit there sometimes and I'm like, let's say the recent elections, surely the Tories were trying to lose on purpose.
Yeah.
So I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
He wanted the summer off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But is that a
Watch Sky.
conspiracy? Yeah.
Yeah. Finally gets to
Like
watch
it's
Sky.
1991 all over again. I spent the summer watching Sky.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Friends was only on Sky?
Oh yeah.
Did you, maybe you weren't living in the UK
no,
then.
I wasn't.
Were
We
you even living
we barely
then?
had friends. I mean, Friends the show. But yeah, no, we had like 2 English language shows in Thailand where I grew up. So
And Friends wasn't one of them. So were you a latecomer to the Friends scene?
I probably, despite looking like Julie from Friends, I don't.
I had never made that connection,
really?
and now you said it, I cannot get that out of my head.
I've had people come up to me after gigs, come up to me on the street.
Yeah, it's a massive compliment.
Wasn't she really annoying? Anyway, that's pretty much all
No,
I
I
know.
like
I liked
Julie.
her. I like Julie. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
genuinely.
Yeah.
But I like
Julie wasn't the problem. Ross was the problem.
Ross is always the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this is a conspiracy theory, but there, when you look into like screenwriting, lore and stuff like that, apparently the main characters of Friends, it was meant to be somebody you weren't expecting, like Phoebe or something. I can't remember what exactly it is. You'll have to fact check this after.
The show was designed around Ross, the David Schwimmer, the actor. So it's all a spin off of him. If you watch the episodes, which I'm doing right now,
Oh.
Yes, you are. When are you not?
He's the main character.
main.
Even though I don't think anyone watches the show for him. I'm not dissing David Schwimmer. I think David Schwimmer is a superb comedic actor. And his physicality is amazing. But the shows are built around him. So if he is the most relationships, he is the.
Oh, I see. That's
I watch it for real.
But he wasn't the biggest. He was one of the bigger stars, but Courtney Cox was.
She was a
better now,
movie
wasn't
star.
She
Like
was a movie
she
star.
came from movies to be in Friends. Like
Yeah.
she had,
I mean, not many, but she had been in a few.
like
how many have you been in?
Yeah,
Phil?
well, yeah. Fair point, Jen. Fair point.
Ginnia, you're so cold.
Cutting, isn't she? So she looks so sweet and innocent, and she's like, straight in.
But he has the face of a movie
He
star.
does.
Ah, well, too.
Ruggedly handsome, I think would be the description.
One conspiracy theory is how old is Phil?
I'm
I think
older.
this podcast ages us because of the stuff that we randomly come out with. But like the fact that I know that Friends went to Sky when I was a teenager, it's like, oh no, okay, now we know you're
Well,
definitely not a millennial.
Yeah, and I make reference to like He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, exactly.
And my favorite Barbies are 80s Barbies. What does that say? I know.
Yeah. So this conspiracy, I mean, I'm gonna let you in. This was fascinating, and it was fascinating for us because we didn't know anything about it. So aliens created Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the first decentralized cryptocurrency, has revolutionized the financial world since its inception in 2009. It was introduced by an individual or group using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. Despite numerous investigations and much speculations, Nakamoto's true identity remains a mystery, giving rise to a plethora of conspiracy theories. These theories range from plausible to outlandish, reflecting the intrigue and speculation surrounding one of the most significant technological advancements of the 21st century. So you heard about this through...
Well, yeah, I guess one thing was also reading the list of conspiracy theories that, you guys had already. I suppose I thought, how useful is this to my day-to-day life? Even though I love all conspiracy theories. Then I thought, like, what is happening right now that, like, I just want to know more about that actually impacts me? Like, if I'm going to buy some crypto or Bitcoin, like, but did you know that there was questions around who invented it?
No,
at
I
all?
didn't. I
You
didn't.
thought somebody
I
created it.
I did know it was mysterious.
Right.
Yeah. What Nakamoto? Nakamoto.
Yeah.
Cancel us, Japanese people. No.
I'm so
Anyway,
sorry.
he might not even be Japanese.
He might not be a he.
He's not a person.
Yeah.
He's not even a
But
person.
who's behind that?
Yeah. And do the sort of tech bros that you know, do they talk about this? as a thing?
No.
They don't.
No, it's just sort of like a given that nobody knows where it came from, which I find insane because
insane.
Yeah, right? That's the crazy thing. I didn't know the aliens maybe created it, but I knew that there was just a mysterious thing that people just blindly were like, let's just buy tons of this stuff that nobody knows where it came from. Like, that's what is crazy to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it makes sense to me because the transistor, the provenance of the transistor is not really known, and that's said to be 1947 when it came to prominent, when it came on the market. they're saying that it was from aliens, like from Roswell and whatever. I quite like that, the provenance of the transistor. But then microwaves as well. That's another one that sort of came out of nowhere. So this is just another technology that's come out of nowhere going, it was aliens. And I you know, I mean, take us to your leader. Money's our leader, you know?
Yeah. But is that just like the default answer to something that we don't know? Like, who built the pyramids? Aliens. Who made the like? I
mean, it is an easy answer, isn't it? It's a get out, but it is much more exciting if it was them.
That's true.
I love that. You know, anti-grav technology as well. It's another one. Anti-gravity technology, and everything at CERN is apparently meant to be aliens.
Yeah.
So
really?
Bitcoin being aliens. Oh, that makes sense. You know?
So, do you understand Bitcoin?
For work, I should say yes.
Okay.
I sort of understand that it is, you gotta like mine it.
Yeah.
Please,
So
boss.
I appreciate that we should be mansplaining this to you as men. However, we don't fucking understand it. But we did watch, this is genuinely true, a child's guide to Bitcoin.
Oh, please share it.
Yeah, we'll do. It's a really good animated video that tells you how to do it with a kid writing a letter to Santa. Like that's the whole premise of it.
Wait, you said you have Bitcoin.
I have Bitcoin, but only because I follow other conspiracy theory podcasts. And they're like, oh, you got to get in Bitcoin. I've also got gold and silver.
Oh.
You know, I have no money, but I've got
but you've got a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So it uses this thing called blockchain. Okay, I'm going to try and explain this. So blockchain allows people to pay each other using a system that cuts out the middleman. So like banks or accountants. The idea is it's infallible. No one can tamper with the transaction. So it's basically ultra safe. So it's sort of an anti-establishment thing basically, because it removes the people in the middle. So I send you a payment. That payment, the registration that I've done that gets saved on loads and loads of different blocks on the chain, so that if anyone tried to tamper with that, if they tried to tamper with one of those records, there would be like thousands of other records of it. So basically no one could fuck with it. You're getting your money regardless. So conceptually, it's that's the whole point of it. It's ultra safe, but I still don't understand the whole, like, how do you have any value to it?
How do you use the Bitcoin?
I don't. It's been sitting there. It's been sitting there since like 2016.
Oh, what? You're probably a
millionaire.
Do you know, I that entered my head, and it's like 10 pounds or something, like nothing.
But somebody, did you see the thing about somebody losing their password to this?
Millions.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What, a Bitcoin person?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they knew that there was like millions of value in it, but they forgot their password, so they couldn't get into it.
Oh my
Hypnotized
God.
and everything. And there was someone lost the hard drive with the passcode on it as well. So that's one of the ones. And so I just, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, you would just be in tears, wouldn't you?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
100%. It's
It's
crazy.
like losing the winning lottery ticket. Christ. Okay, so the Satoshi Nakamoto enigma. So Satoshi Nakamoto's anonymity has been fertile ground for conspiracy theorists. The main piece of evidence is the Bitcoin white paper published in 2008, which laid out the framework for a decentralized digital currency. Nakamoto continued to contribute to the Bitcoin project until 2010, when he just disappeared from the public eye, leaving behind a trove of questions and theories. This is the thing I find the weirdest thing, is like, whoever it was created it, built it up, and then just fucked off, and he's never been heard of since. It is weird. So there's conspiracy about who he was, but also about what happened to him. And we're still trading this thing now, 15 years later, and whoever created it has got possibly nothing to do with it anymore. It's so weird.
It's so weird. So are there any photos? Like, I don't know anything about it really. Are there any photos of him and he's just disappeared, or there was literally no trace?
Well, we don't even know
from
it's a
that?
him. That's the thing, and we don't even know that he's like. There's rumors he's Japanese, but there's not, actually there's a lot of theories that it's American or possibly European, but mostly because of the technology that they've used to create it. But I don't. So the anti-state thing is, so there will be some who would argue that Bitcoin and crypto are not entirely antithetical
Yay.
to the state, and there's a way to integrate these systems into wider society. But as a simple fact, it is true that Bitcoin was launched to steal the power to transact freely from internet corporations and shield some private information from surveillance. Maybe this would explain why the US government is working to crush crypto, or at least regulate it into a version that they could still control. But I guess the point is that the government don't understand this enough to actually regulate so it's still largely unregulated, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and so you said that they want to use it to explore space travel?
Kind of. So there's a number of theories, basically. So I'll go through the conspiracy theories as to how it started, and then I'll probably get into the detail of that. So the individual genius conspiracy. The simplest theory is that Satoshi Nakamoto is a single, extraordinarily talented individual, and various candidates have been proposed, including computer scientists and cryptographers. But everyone that has been proposed has denied it's them. That said, they probably would, wouldn't they? I guess if they want to remain anonymous.
Oh, if they wanted to remain anonymous. But why would you want to remain anonymous? It's like wouldn't you want to bask in all the glory of all these men that love you and stuff?
Yeah.
Or the government could come for you and kill you. You try to take money away from us.
Well, but that whole theory that you just said there, Gin, is the reason why people don't think it's one individual. Because absolutely, if you were just one, like even the guy that created the internet, right? Okay, now he never made loads of money from that because he literally gave it to the world. And that famous line, "This is for everyone." So he never really monetized it, but he's got the acclaim. Right? Everyone knows that he's the creator. Whoever created this has not sought money particularly, or even the acclaim. So that's why there are these conspiracies that it isn't one person, because
why wouldn't you come forward?
Yeah, exactly. So the team theory, some believe that Nakamoto is actually a team of people rather than an individual. Bitcoin's creation involved various fields, including cryptography, computer science, and economics, suggesting that a group of experts might have collaborated. This theory posits that the name Satoshi Nakamoto is a pseudonym for a collective effort. There's also the government conspiracy theory. One of the more controversial theories suggests that Bitcoin was created by a government or intelligence agency. Proponents of this theory argue that such an institution would have the resources and expertise to develop a system as sophisticated as Bitcoin. Some theorists believe that Bitcoin could have been designed as a tool for surveillance or to undermine existing financial systems. I guess they would have the resources or at least the access to the resources and the personnel to create the technology more than anyone else.
Well, I suppose over the past few years, the power, if you will, has shifted massively to like big tech companies. And I read an article a few years ago when there was a lot of chatter about exploring Mars. And it was this question in the BBC, I think, of who would rule Mars if we ever got there. And the ultimate conclusion is that right now, most likely it would be private companies that would actually have the sort of whatever the equivalent here is, the power that governments have. It would be private companies like Elon Musk's company or whoever gets there first, Virgin or whatever.
So Mars sponsored by Tesla.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they would actually be the people in power to create laws in space.
That's basically Total Recall.
Yeah.
Because
the original Arnie version, not the remake with.
Because there's just not enough laws to govern it right now. And if that company does get there first, who's going to stop them from just creating laws and bloody blah?
Yeah, that's true. Because what I mean, it's a bit like the Empire. We turn up with a flag, stick it in there. This is ours now. But it is, that's a good point, because why would it be any more credible that the US government lands there and they set the laws for it than it would a corporation, particularly? What gives them the right to do it?
So are you saying that somebody has suggested that somebody created this in order to then have systems like this outside of Earth? Kind of,
yes. But also that there is this idea that it is being used to somehow as a surveillance, a mechanism for surveillance. I don't fully understand how that works, but there is that idea, and it is, I think, to do with the amount that people are trading and how long they're spending trading Bitcoin and
but
mining.
Surely those people are so boring because all they're doing is trading Bitcoin.
Yeah, I couldn't quite understand what you're getting out of it that's interesting, but that is a theory.
Well, if there's when every online transaction, there's a trail of what you've done. That's why we give up our power when we give up currency, when we give up cash. Because if I slip you a tenner, and you can give me cocaine, or whatever, like
right now.
Yeah,
that's we know that's why she's here. But after
tenner.
But you know what I mean? Like it's the idea that something can be private. Now people say, well, that's criminal activity, but also it's none of your business what I do with my money. But that said, I pay everything with my phone now. I love that. And so there's a lovely trail of every penny I spend and where I go and why I waste money. You know,
that's because you like the game, the tappy tap game.
Oh my God, I love the tappy tap. I love how it feels in my hand. I believe in currency, and I'm like, yep, just give everything a digital.
There's something kind of magic wand about it, isn't there? Kind of Harry Potter-esque, like.
But that is the other question, right? Like all currency now is virtual money. Like somebody could just press a button and all of our money could just be gone or transferred to someone. And who's to say that what proof is there?
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
keeping records. And,
Exactly. But when you do it with the phone, there's still an intermediary involved in that, right? Your bank validating that.
Well,
There's the middleman is still there, even though it's instant. And the whole thing with Bitcoin is that middleman doesn't exist. But it still begs the question is, who created the whole fucking thing, right? Because surely they've got some level of control.
So how does it relate? Sorry, this might be getting too into economics, but if it doesn't exist in the central banking system, where does it exist?
Outside of it.
So how is it money?
It's
is it money?
It's peer to peer. I think you can cash in a Bitcoin, can't you?
Yes, yeah, you can have actual cash from Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's just you have to go around the houses. I've got money on Bitcoin. I think it was 2016 when I did it. And I have no idea how to access it. It's not worth my time to, like, it's not much, but do you know what I mean? Like, I did it for a jolly. I thought, oh, this would be a good idea. And
You thought 2016, the world's going to shit. Fuck it.
absolutely. Well,
I'm going out with a Bitcoin.
oh yeah.
Because sometimes I live in South London. Sometimes you walk past like a corner shop and it says like, buy Bitcoin here.
Yeah.
And you can buy like wigs and stuff from the same shop. Well, how does that happen?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So there's the corporate creation theory. Another theory is that large corporations or consortiums of tech companies might be behind Bitcoin. Companies like Google, Microsoft, or IBM have the technical prowess and financial resources to develop such an innovative technology. This theory suggests that these corporations might have created Bitcoin to pioneer a new financial era. Because you can buy stuff with Bitcoin, I think, can't you? Like, I don't know whether all of these particular companies allow it, but it is possible to buy goods and services, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a couple of like it's a podcast I listen to, not the Believetheconspiracytheory podcast. There's a podcast I listen to, and you can pay with Bitcoin to, you know, have your subscription with that. Did that make sense? I pay a subscription with Bitcoin. That's better.
Yeah.
Edit that in.
Okay. So the alien theory, I think we can all agree is the most legit. So some conspiracy theories speculate that Bitcoin technology was given to humanity by extraterrestrial beings. This theory hinges on the belief that Bitcoin's underlying technology is too advanced to have been developed by humans alone. Bitcoin was first to solve the Byzantine generals problem, a way to coordinate trust among people separated by time, distance, and motivations. Everything about Bitcoin is so utterly perfect. There are no real flaws in its idea, and there's no real way to exploit it, something which is very rare in most human created concepts and ideas. They also talk about how this is the next step in human civilization. Could that be linked to the theory that aliens were waiting for us to develop and civilize before contacting us? Was this planned by aliens to help accelerate our learning curve? It seems baffling to some that a human could create such a genius concept that cannot be faulted, cannot be exploited even by the power of government, etc., and yet the creator has remained anonymous this whole time. And that's the sort of central part of this theory. It's so technically advanced for everything that we've ever known before in terms of payment systems that people can't quite understand how humans could have created it. And the fact that it is a really fair concept. In theory, there's no bias in it. There's no one company or organization is gaining from it particularly. It is literally peer to peer. It's person to person.
But what about, I don't really know how the economic side of it works. So technically it's perfect.
I don't think the aliens were thinking about that.
No, yeah. They're like, what about the people that fuck it all up? Because sometimes the value goes to zero or whatever.
Yeah, that is true. Because it feels like if they've done this, they've gone, here you go, but you run it.
No, don't trust humans with that.
No, exactly.
Aliens. How clever are you if that's what you actually thought we were going to succeed with something?
So do you think they're just watching us to see if we fuck it up? And if this is the final thing we fuck up, they're like, no, we won't bother.
I mean, if there are aliens, like, you know about the international creating humanity and all that, that sort of idea. I think they are just sitting here watching going, go on, just, and then when it's all destroyed, they'll come and take all our gold or something.
Oh, it's the gold they're after.
That's the gold they're after.
Not the
David
planet.
wishes that it's gold to just make the one that he has valuable. That's what they're after.
Well, the gold that I have is like £10 worth. It's like a tiny little bit of gold. And I thought, oh, well, I'll do this. And when it came, I was expecting a gold bar. I really was. And when it arrived, it's like, oh, okay. And there's a wee bit of silver. Okay, it's like you know, magazines in the 80s used to get free things.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that, and it just made me go, "What am I doing with my life?"
Where'd you put it now, though?
Oh, funny enough, I was going to bring it for today, and it's in my wardrobe. I've got a built-in wardrobe. I'm telling you too much.
No.
It's really going to weigh down the ship if they come down for the gold.
Right. Well, gold's very heavy.
Yeah, it's very heavy.
But it's a great conductor.
Maybe that's the point.
Yeah, it's beautifully malleable.
So the technological leap arguments are similar to historical claims that significant technological advances like the pyramids of Egypt or scientific astronomical knowledge were beyond the capability of contemporary human societies. Some proponents argue that blockchain technology is too advanced to have been developed by humans alone. They suggest that such technology could have been imparted by an extraterrestrial civilization with superior knowledge. So this idea of like the payment passing through multiple different blocks and all of those blocks essentially being like a security system, that is the concept of this, right? And there are some links to space and physics that I don't understand that this has parallels to, and that's why they think that aliens might have come up with this.
Wow. It's just crazy because I'm also fascinated by this idea that so Cleopatra lived further from the pyramids being built than we live from her.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
she's closer to the invention of the iPhone than the
Yes.
building of the pyramids.
Yeah, and I literally read today that the ancient Egyptians, or like Cleopatra's time, they had archaeologists studying the pyramids
Yes.
themselves already. So by the time we got, like the West got in there, like, you know, most of it had been looted, and that's why actually Tutankhamun's tomb was so preserved, because it was so small and like not valuable that nobody
They
thought
didn't take
to
it.
even but that's just crazy, right? Because they were already like examining these things from 2,500 years before they were even. And anyway,
Yeah,
so it's just like,
Egypt was ancient when Cleopatra was pharaoh. Like that's blows my mind as well. But I love that.
yeah.
You know.
And I guess I don't know why, but it feels similar.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
it's just this thing that people don't know. It's so advanced. I guess there's blocks. I don't know.
But it is the modern equivalent of that. It's the modern equivalent of the pyramids. It's like, well, if the aliens gave us the pyramids with technology that we did not have at the time, or we understand we didn't have at the time, this is a similar thing, right? This works on technology that no one thought we had, and yet somehow we now have it suddenly, very, very suddenly.
So how did it become common, or how did they disseminate this? Like somebody created it, and then people just started using it?
Dudes at parties.
Your crypto bros.
Yeah.
Key points of the alien blockchain conspiracy. So, extraterrestrial knowledge transfer. Proponents of this theory suggest that aliens, having observed human development, decided to share blockchain technology to help humanity achieve a new level of technological and financial sophistication. This transfer of knowledge could have been done to promote global stability, economic freedom, or as part of a larger plan to prepare humanity for integration into a broader interstellar community. Those two things are very different, aren't they? So basically, on one side, they're going, do you know what? You guys need a bit of help. Here you go. Something that makes life easier. Or we're coming for you.
Oh, I actually, when you said preparing us to be a part of this intergalactic community, I thought that was like an empowering thing.
Do you think they want to onboard us? Yeah, maybe I'm being too negative. Maybe that's the thing. They want us, but they think you're too stupid to be part of our gang now.
Yeah.
But if you could could get over this, you're fucking in the club, mate.
That definitely makes sense that there's some sort of test. I mean, the there's a lot of people that say they were already part of the International Space Council and all that, and all the different types of aliens. We've talked about the reptilians, but there's also the Aryans and all these different types of aliens, or the Nordics is actually, the Aryans is a totally different thing.
It's like, what? When this is going down another route, should I leave?
There's all these different animals and all these different aliens, not animals. Some of them are like feline and whatever. Like there's meant to be hundreds of them. But I also think, did you watch Star Trek a lot when you were a kid? But if we...
Oh, I thought you were asking me, because that's definite. No, I didn't.
I didn't have sex as a teenager, so I did. I did a lot. And I loved it. But the idea that there's all these aliens and we can just join them. I don't know what I feel about that, but the idea that there's a test, I do like that. I do think that there'd be, well, if you can figure this out, you can join us. Like the Last Starfighter. Have you ever seen The Last Starfighter?
No.
Classic 80s movie. It's corny as heck. It's one of the first movies that has CGI, and when you watch it, it's so ropey.
Was this another Star Wars ripoff?
Kinda. It's a lot of fun. It's actually one of my favorite movies. I really, really love it. It's not a good movie. Please don't misunderstand me. It's not a good movie, and it has one of the corniest moments ever in a movie, and it's my favorite thing. The lead girl turns around to the audience and says something, and it's just like, oh, that's so amazing. Anyway, my point.
She breaks the fourth wall.
She breaks the fourth wall, and it's just glorious.
In a space opera.
In a space opera.
But
the whole thing with The Last Starfighter is aliens put video games, like Space Invader type video games, on humanity, and the person that can complete the game ends up becoming a starfighter. Like they've actually learned all the techniques to fight in this war, and through various machinations, that this one guy who got the ultimate score in this game ends up saving humanity in space. It's really good. I'm sorry, I loved it. I watched it as a kid and it stayed with me. Last Starfighter, they keep talking about remaking it, and I wish they would, because it's awesome. It's and anyway, my point is there's a test from aliens for us to join them. And that's the reason that I mentioned it, not because I wanted to talk about one of my favorite movies. That's terrible.
Got it. Okay. We're just creating theories now, aren't we? Just throwing them out there.
But I like the idea that we're being tested with
I like
Bitcoin.
the idea we're being tested, yeah.
And we're feeling.
Yeah, surely aliens should know that 90% of us can't even open a PDF. Like,
what's a PDF?
Exactly. Like
comedians.
And the people that are that it's attracting, that Bitcoin is attracting, are they the portion of the population that aliens want?
I did wonder if they thought that through. Do we want the best of the best, or do we want these guys? So advanced cryptographic techniques. Blockchain technology relies heavily on complex cryptographic methods. Some theorists argue that the sophistication of these methods hint at a more advanced origin. They propose that such high-level cryptography might be routine for a civilization much older and more technically advanced than our own. So that's kind of the theory we've just mentioned. But the final part of this is that there's no human fingerprints. The complete anonymity of Satoshi Nakamoto and the absence of concrete evidence linking any known individual or group to the creation of Bitcoin is seen as a clue. Theorists argue that if humans had developed blockchain technology, there would likely be more tangible evidence of its origins. That's probably a fair point, right? We've got absolutely no idea how this started. And there are a lot of people that have tried to investigate this, tried to find out the history of it, tried to look at the technology and try to understand the history of the technology. And still, there are really, really vague theories on this, or at least that we know about.
Yeah, like who would be responsible for finding that out? Like, I guess, are the CIA on it? Like, is anyone looking into this?
They probably are, but I think the reason that nothing has come up. Is it frustrating for people? Because do you have the bit about how I've forgotten the guy's name?
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Him.
Yeah.
How that's actually if you break his name down, it's all the different companies that are online.
Yes. That's part of the corporate conspiracy, I think. Yeah. But you could kind of do that with anything, really, like if you wanted to. And it's very much a conspiracy theorist mindset to do that.
But do you think maybe like the CIA or whoever, they know and they're just not telling? Does that happen? I guess so. Aliens.
Yeah. But I guess if the CIA did find out it was aliens, they're probably not going to come out and say, Bitcoin, that was aliens.
Yeah.
Aliens.
There's two things there. aliens created it and aliens exist.
Yeah. Well, didn't someone come out?
There's a lot to take in one day.
I'm pretty sure earlier this year, somebody that used to work for the FBI came out and was like, aliens do exist. And we were all just like,
they did.
I got to pay my taxes. Like,
Yeah,
I'm busy.
like it wasn't the big disclosure.
Yeah.
It's like, no one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares. I mean, there's certainly, I've forgotten his name. There's like high-ranking government officials that are now retired. They're saying, yes, UAPs, UFOs exist, and we've had contact with the aliens. This is all happening, and everyone's sort of like, yeah, whatever. You know,
How many, when you do this podcast, how many of the conspiracy theories tend to come back to aliens?
not that many actually.
really?
Yeah,
Because this is an alien conspiracy theory. We're like, it's an alien conspiracy theory. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
To be honest, when you can't explain it any other way, it comes back to aliens then. Right? But a lot of them, there are loads of theories on, which are more feasible. But because this one, there's so much mystery around this, and it's such a modern one as well. And that's the weird thing, is it's so modern, there should be a load of information.
Right.
There should be an easy way to find out how this started, who started it, where the technology came from, and yet there isn't that we know of.
And it's the fact that, people are just using it every day, still buying it, still
and trusting it.
But I also watched or read something about the psychology of conspiracy theories, and the reason why QAnon, was so effective is because it lays some crumbs for people to discover something themselves.
Yeah.
So if you
figured it out.
Yeah, you figured it out yourself. So apparently if you're just told bloody blah versus like somebody laying some clues for you to then find something out yourself, you're going to be more likely to believe it because you feel like you're uncovered something. You're in the know.
Yeah.
But I always thought there was that element in Bitcoin where like you can't just have it. You got to do something to like own it, don't you? You got to like mine something. You got to like
there is that.
So
yeah.
people are just less likely to question it, or I don't know. Like,
but you are also part of a club. Like, so you're talking about like QAnon, but QAnon itself is a movement, or they created a movement of people, and we talked about this on previous episodes where actually being part of a conspiracy, you're part of a club, and you come together with people who are similar minded, and it makes you feel included, right? And I think Bitcoin is just another club, right? You're a Bitcoin owner. You're someone who mines Bitcoins. You talk to other Bitcoin owners, like playing games online. You become a gamer. It's a community of people, right?
Yeah. And you belong to something, and you belong to something at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
You've got the inside track, you know. And I think that sense of belonging, I think that's actually a really key component to conspiracy theories, you know. We know the truth, but that also applies to religious people.
It's true.
Right.
One of my favorite ever documentaries, and this is actually the first thing I talked to Louis Theroux about, is it's called Behind the Curve. Have you seen it?
No.
You guys call yourselves conspiracy theorists? No, it's probably my favorite documentary of all time. It's about
I don't. Yeah.
flat earthers. It's about flat earthers.
I think I've watched it. I didn't recognize the name, but I've definitely watched documentaries about who believe in the flat earth.
Yes. But the reason why that documentary is amazing is because you start off watching it, you think you're going to laugh at this bunch of silly folks who are believing something crazy. But it's a beautiful movie because by the end you're rooting for these people. You realize they just want friends.
Yeah.
They're just part of the community. And it doesn't even matter if they believe, it doesn't matter that they believe the earth is flat, or it doesn't even matter whether or not they believe it.
Yeah.
They just want to be part of this little club.
Yeah.
It could have been knitting. That literally doesn't matter. So I think.
And they get to go on great adventures to discover the edge of the world.
When was the last time we all went out and did a little science experiment together?
Oh, that's what we're doing after this. Am I about that, Jen? Okay, so are aliens developing our society in order to live on Earth? According to renowned physicist and Oppenheimer collaborator Enrico Fermi, intelligent species likely have a set window of time to build the technological capabilities needed to leave their home base. And if that window closes, if wars lead to societal collapse, or if scientific progress otherwise halts, we'll miss the chance to slingshot through the universe before the sun engulfs the Earth. Maybe crypto is as necessary to space exploration as fusion, and so must be throttled to prevent us from leaving our overlords. And that's really the point of crypto. In a world where it's conceivable the government is lying about something as fundamental as earth-shattering as the existence of life beyond our planet, and feels the patronizing need to protect us from ourselves, there's already an option to rebel.
It's this Fermi as in the Fermi paradox. Is that the same guy?
Don't know. Probably, yeah.
It's the same
Yeah, it's the same
What's
guy.
that?
Yes, it's the same guy. We'll edit that bit out.
Yeah, the Fermi paradox is there must be aliens out there because there's so many different planets,
Yeah.
but we haven't been contacted. So why haven't we been
Too
contacted?
stupid.
Because we're too stupid, or this is a prison planet, or we're in the boondocks. The civilized intergalactic civilization is over there, and we're South London. It's like
Yeah.
we're not actually South London. Sorry, South London.
I read something else the other day about how time travel is a silly concept because if we were to time travel to like right here, like 10,000 years ago, whatever, 8,000 years ago, because the Earth has shifted, like we would just be
travel through
somewhere in
space.
space dead.
You would be in the
'Cause
vacuum of
this-
space.
Yeah, this wouldn't be where the Earth is. I don't know if that's related, but anyway, maybe they can't contact us.
But
You're just saying that because you don't have flux capacitor.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Everything I know about any of this stuff is from Men in Black. Okay, so
well, the first two Men in Black are really good with the
They are
hard
quite good with the
sci-fi.
science. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool.
like
I
I
like-
still Orion's belt. I don't know if you remember
Yeah,
that
yeah,
bit. Like
yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
literally, that's the only bit of astronomy I know.
Well, the thing about time travel is it's just another dimension. It's so it's we see things in three dimensions, and that would be the fourth dimension. So if you were a time traveler, if I was a time traveler, and I was looking at you, I could see you as a little baby and as an old woman, and as you are now, you can see all the aspects of who you are. And it wouldn't matter. I could speak to any part of you because I'm in a different dimension. So, yes, you're talking about. I've heard that about time travel as well. Like, well, yeah, you could go back in time, but you're not. The planet's not there anymore, or it wasn't.
So would Bitcoin exist through time? Like, how would Bitcoin exist through time?
Well, the
Space.
idea is that the technology would, the blockchain technology would, whether it's being used as like a payment system or not, we don't know. But the actual technology, the idea that it would be, so the concept of blockchain.
And this idea of things being recorded, like the one of the big things like the New Age movement is the Akashic records. So like these are the like the spiritual records, and it's high, but it's considered technology. Like the Akashic records are meant to be underneath the Sphinx. That they're actually meant to be stored, and it's the history of all of time. So this idea that something is ephemeral, that there's a record. Well, it's on the blockchain.
Yeah.
But can you access the blockchain? No.
Well, I guess the other part of this whole thing is like the lack of understanding that people like me have with something like Bitcoin. It's like, how much do we even initially understand about money in general anyway? Like, do any of us know how the central banks? You probably do, but no offense to us. But like,
I know nothing of money.
But not really. I a long time ago in a former life worked in the money markets, right? And it is just numbers on a screen, right? And that's the bizarre thing. And now we've got to a point now where we're pretty much a cashless society, or getting towards a cashless society. So nothing is real anymore. Nothing is physical.
Exactly. So when back in the day when you're growing up, you're like, oh, why can't you just print more money to have more money? Like that's not even, you can't, like kids these days probably wouldn't even have that phrase, like print more money.
No,
they're not even.
They wouldn't get what that means. Yeah, it's weird. So criticism and counter arguments. So human ingenuity. The counter argument to this theory is rooted in the belief in human ingenuity and the cumulative nature of technological progress. Blockchain technology, whilst innovative, builds on decades of advancements in cryptography, computer science, and decentralized systems, fields that have been substantial contributions from numerous human researchers and engineers. There's also Occam's razor. Applying Occam's razor, which suggests that the simplest explanation is usually the correct one, leads many to dismiss the alien theory. It is more plausible that a human or group of humans develop blockchain technology, even if their identities remain unknown. That's a lot less fun, though.
Yeah.
And go on.
It is less fun, but it still begs the question of why. So in some ways that's more fun, because if it is just a random group of people that created it, that's more fun than just aliens gave it to us, because it's like, where are they? Like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Why do they want us to?
And I think we want it to be more that, or do we want it to be aliens?
Oh, I want it to be aliens, but
Yeah, well,
That's why
you
we're
just want
both looking
anything
at
to be
you.
aliens. Yeah.
yeah.
And lack of evidence. There is no tangible evidence supporting the claim that aliens invented blockchain. I mean, that is true, but there's also no tangible evidence that we know of that they're aliens. The theory relies on speculation and the absence of proof rather than concrete facts. Without direct evidence of extraterrestrial involvement, the theory remains in the realm of science fiction.
Wow. So there's no plausible theory at all about why who a human could have been. Like there's just people are just like, we'll just use this and carry on and just that's wild, isn't
I know.
it?
It's mental.
I thought I would leave here with some answers,
Oh, no.
but there's more
If anything,
questions.
we've just fucked your head even more. Yeah, completely. Do you want another bizarre theory?
Of course.
Okay, so Bitcoin and the devil. The Bitcoin and the devil theory suggests that Bitcoin is either influenced by or directly linked to demonic forces. So the origins of this, the Bitcoin and the devil theory appears to stem from a variety of sources. Symbolic interpretation. Some theorists look for hidden meanings in the numbers and symbols associated with Bitcoin. For example, Bitcoin's maximum supply is capped at 21 million coins. Numerologists and conspiracy theorists sometimes attempt to find symbolic connections between such numbers and occult or demonic references. You know a little bit about this, don't you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Numbers are important, but it's like spirit numbers. You know, like 111.
What does 21 million mean?
Yeah. What does 21? I mean, 21 is significant. You know what? And
It's
the
that
Kabbalah,
garage song.
Yeah.
21 seconds to go.
go.
The 21 is the moment your soul solidifies in your body. So according to the Kabbalah.
There's the fear of new technology. Throughout history, new technologies have been met with fear and suspicion. Bitcoin, with its decentralized nature and potential to disrupt traditional financial systems, has been no exception. Some people view this disruption as inherently chaotic or even malevolent. The key point of the Bitcoin and devil theory, is the numerical symbolism. The theory often involves interpretations of numerical patterns related to Bitcoin. For example, the hexadecimal representation of 21E8, which is linked to Bitcoin's code and block structure, has been cited by some theorists as having an occult significance, and Satoshi Nakamoto as a supernatural entity. Some proponents of the theory suggest that Satoshi Nakamoto is not a person or group of people, but rather a supernatural entity, potentially demonic. This idea leverages the mystery surrounding Nakamoto's identity and the seemingly miraculous emergence of the Bitcoin technology.
Oh, wow. As you were speaking, I just thought, what if somebody created it with the intention to take down all these governments and blah, blah, blah. And when they saw it was just these bros like getting into it, he was like, I don't want to be associated with this. Bye.
So maybe the devil did create it and he was like, fuck, this hasn't done the job.
Yeah, it's not cool enough.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, we've bailed out the banks so many times now, and Bitcoin doesn't require that. You know,
I like the idea that the devil's a tech bro.
I think the devil is a tech.
Economic control and chaos, but Bitcoin's potential to disrupt global financial systems is seen by some as a form of chaos that aligns with demonic goals. The theory posits that the destabilization of traditional economies could be a way for demonic forces to sow discord and undermine human societies. So just create chaos. If it is trying to do that, it's failing. Well, is it failing to do that?
Anything's better than this.
Yeah.
Right now. Let's be honest.
I mean, the world has kind of gone. I mean, this was created in 2008, year of the financial crash, and I mean, the world has gone to shit since then. It's fair to say.
Are we blaming Bitcoin for that?
Well,
Did Bitcoin create COVID? Like, is that what we're saying?
Someone had to pay for it. No, I'm not going there.
Dark web associations. Bitcoin's early associations with the dark web and illegal activities contribute to its sinister reputation. The use of Bitcoin for transactions in illicit markets reinforces the idea that it serves malevolent purposes. It did start off on the dark web. That is true.
Dark web sounds so mysterious, but really it's just a web that you can't search easily. That's what the dark web is. That doesn't have the tags.
We'll take your word for that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there is dodgy stuff in the dark web, but like, there's also not.
Yeah.
You could be accidentally be part of the dark web because you haven't set up your website properly.
But it sounds cool.
The dark web.
All our details probably on there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So criticisms and counter arguments. Fear of the unknown. This theory is part of a broader pattern of fearing new and misunderstood technologies. Historically, innovations that disrupt the status quo often face a resistance and are sometimes demonized. The Bitcoin and the devil theory can be seen as a modern manifestation of this fear. I mean, that is fairly true, isn't it? Technology does scare the shit out of people.
AI right now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're all coming to kill us, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm pretty sure that's why, I don't know if you saw when OpenAI, which created ChatGPT, they shared on their socials some screenshots of ChatGPT making very humorous but silly mistakes. And I remember someone being like, why would OpenAI want to share that? And I'm pretty sure it's because they want to cultivate a view of something like ChatGPT not being perfect, not being so smart that it can outsmart all of us so that people will use it and be less scared of it. Because the more fear people are scared.
Oh, that's a conspiracy
Is
within
it
a conspiracy. That's so, because AI taking over in itself is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
And the AI being smart enough to essentially like muddy the waters to make it look like it's not as smart as it actually is. Oh, Gin. You're just giving us another episode.
Maybe, but I'm pretty sure, it's just fear-based. A lot of these, conspiracy theories, that's where it comes from, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fear.
Like fear of...
I mean, religious and moral
reptiles.
panic is another one. Linking Bitcoin to demonic forces can be viewed as a form of moral panic, where social anxieties about rapid technological change are expressed through supernatural narratives. Similar patterns have been observed with other technologies and cultural phenomena throughout history.
I think there should be more horror movies as well about technology. There's not enough.
Yeah, I mean, I guess...
Or not good ones.
Not good ones. I mean...
I don't know. The Social Network was pretty terrifying.
Well, The Matrix isn't a horror, but it kind of has...
Yeah.
It's kind of horror adjacent, isn't it?
Yeah, like when Neo's getting interviewed at the very beginning, his mouth goes and and the idea that you're a battery, that's pretty horrific. And there are horrific elements in the Matrix. But let's be honest, we all want to be in the Matrix. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
I want to be Trinity. Not Neo, Trinity. I do want to be Trinity. But like, there's lots of horror movies that are sci-fi.
That's true.
That really get under the skin. Like Terminator is a horror movie. It's a slasher movie, effectively, and that sort of gets it in there. But also, the world we live in is a horror movie.
That's true.
I mean, I'm addicted
by Bitcoin.
Started by Bitcoin.
Yeah,
I'm
now-
addicted to my phone. I'm addicted to my phone,
true.
and I hate it. I don't do anything without it.
Yeah.
Now, but all I'm thinking about now is that it was created in 2008, which was when all the financial issues started being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is what you came in for, Jen.
No.
That's when the world changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but was it before or after the first?
Good question. Because it emerged from the dark web, I don't think there's an actual specific date. There is a white paper, but I don't think it actually states when it started. Maybe it does, but yeah, that's kind of unknown, because I imagine the technology must have been there for a while before that. It just became big at that point, and then very quickly emerged as a mainstream thing.
That's crazy.
But I just think it's coincidental it happened that year.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So the impact of these theories, the various conspiracy theories about Bitcoin's founder, reflect a broader fascination with secrecy and the unknown in modern society. They highlight the enigmatic nature of technological advancements and the human tendency to seek answers in the face of mystery. These theories also underscore the revolutionary impact of Bitcoin on global finance, prompting questions about its origins and implications for the future. While the enduring mystery of Satoshi Nakamoto's identity adds a layer of intrigue to Bitcoin, while the true founder may never be revealed, the speculation surrounding Nakamoto continues to captivate the imagination of both the cryptocurrency community and the general public. Ultimately, whether Satoshi Nakamoto was an individual genius, a government creation, aliens, or the devil, the legacy of Bitcoin remains a testament to the power of cryptographic innovation and the enduring allure of the unknown.
I'm pretty sure most people think Bitcoin is a company, right?
Yeah.
Like that's your initial thought would be. This company created this thing, blah, 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 end of.
Yeah. And I also think that people think someone's regulating this thing and that somebody owns it and somebody understands it. And what we've proven is that fuck all.
No.
Nobody knows.
It's just a thing that you can become part of.
Yeah. It's just another club.
Just another club.
So, was Bitcoin given to us by aliens?
I think no. I think it was created by a group of people that maybe had a purpose. It didn't do what that purpose served, and now they're just like, fuck it.
Do you know? I think you're right on the money there. Like it was meant to do something else.
Yeah.
And it didn't do that something
Yeah.
else. But, oh, just leave it.
Yeah.
And if we try to get rid of it, then we'll reveal our hand.
Yeah.
So that actually makes a lot of sense to me.
Unless it's like a sleeper agent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's something, they're waiting for something.
Yeah.
What do you think they're waiting
I
for?
don't know. You tell me. No. I don't know.
Skynet.
Space.
Aliens to land.
Space travel.
Yeah, maybe. But that's the whole point, is that this technology could be a precursor to space travel. The whole blockchain technology. That's the thing. But I agree with your theory. I think this is one of the few occasions where I think we were all pretty much in agreement. We don't think this came from aliens, but we do think someone was trying to stir the pot, create something that was anti-state, I think. And like you said, it hasn't done, even though we don't really know what their true purpose was, it hasn't done whatever the thing was they wanted it to do.
But if you are an alien watching this and you want to correct us, please contact us on our email, believeconspiracypod@gmail.com.
Absolutely. And also, if you've got any other suggestions for conspiracies, let us know.
Yeah.
Jin, would you like to look into the camera and tell people where they can find you, where they can follow you, all that sort of stuff?
You can find me on Instagram at GinnyPie. And that's it. Wait, what was the other questions?
No, that was it.
Have you got any shows coming up or anything? Are you doing anything?
Yeah, well, our next Sex Standing Up is in October.
Good, because this is going out probably just before that, so great.
You can add the date in the comments. 'cause
Yes,
I've
we will. We'll put the
forgotten
link in the comments.
what date it is. Yeah.
Okay, good. And go and see Sex Standing Up. It is such a fun show.
Yes. I wear clothes, though, if you're expecting something else.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
some
not
people...
that
you're a
much.
furry.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have, if you want a furry show, let us know. Let me know, and I'll put it on just for you, whoever it is.
Hell yeah.
You have to have me on if you book a furry night. You have to.
It's getting niche. Would you like a Bitcoin joke to end the podcast?
Oh, please. Did you write it, or did ChatGPT write it?
Oh, no, ChatGPT wrote it. How do you eat a Bitcoin? 1 megabyte at a time. They don't need us anymore.
Gold.
That's the end of the podcast. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Please like and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. The more lovely subscribers we get, the more episodes we'll make. And follow us on Instagram and TikTok for regular updates and exclusive videos at Believe Conspiracy Pod. We love you. Bye.